What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about nose contouring. It is something that has been highly requested through my Instagram, my Snapchat, Periscope, pretty much all my channels. And although I have done little mini tutorials and little clips for you guys, I've never thoroughly gone through each and every single product that I do and the techniques and why I do them. So I decided to finally dedicate a video for you guys to teach you how I do the contouring. When I learned about nose contouring, I was in love. I was trying every single product, doing every technique that I kept seeing on Instagram or YouTube. I was using every kind of brush you can imagine, and it was a big disaster. I mean, everything from the contouring being so dark, so orange, the wrong, even the wrong consistency that doesn't even go with my skin, using things that were maybe too sheer, too cakey, whatever it was, I was always in that position that I couldn't figure it out, why I couldn't do it or why it was looking a certain way on me. One day I just started to play with different stuff, and I figured out finally how it works and what looks good on my nose and how to do that. And when I started seeing a lot of requests and a lot of people saying, I love her nose, it's so cute, I was like, it's the contour, no one even knows. So let's get started. You'll see on the next clip the difference in how my nose looks without contour. As you can see, there's nothing on my nose right now. It's literally looking so pale and freckly, and I honestly don't mind it. I don't mind it like this, but I prefer a little bit more of a snatched nose. So I'm going to go step by step with each and every product that I use and the tools that I'm currently using. So these are currently my favorite concealers. Shape Tape is new to my family and I'm in love with it, but also MAC Pro Longer has been kind of my go-to concealer for under eyes and concealing and brightening for quite some time. I switch it up just depending on my mood, but today I am going to go in with the today I am going to go in with Tarte Shape Tape in the color light medium. So this concealer is about a medium to full coverage. I do like the way it wears. It's comfortable. It doesn't get too cakey, which is a plus for me. I've already used this underneath my eyes, so I'm going to go in directly on my nose. And this is a part that I was like, should I do my under eyes and this? At the time I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to do this, because to be honest with you guys, when I do my concealer, I bring it all the way in. My concealer goes from here to about right there and then down my nose. So we're gonna just pretend that I did it that way, but I'm gonna make it all work out for you guys. So I'm gonna take it in all the way in on the sides, and this just kind of shapes down the side of the nose. I feel like it shaves it down a lot. And then just gonna go up and down. Again, just going to down, stop right there because I did already apply concealer and powder. So as you guys can see, just doing that already defined out my nose, and I didn't take it all the way down because I don't want to lose the shape on the side. So I just brought it in on the sides a little bit. So I'm going to go in my beauty blender now, and it is a little bit damp. It's not too crazy wet because you want to make sure that it doesn't really mess up with the texture. And I'm just going to pat it in. I'm just taking a little higher. I'm kind of squeezing the middle of the beauty blender with my broken nail. Just getting in the sides, just to kind of define it out a little bit. So again, just patting in the concealer. So now with the tip of the applicator, I'm going to go down the middle of my nose. And I'm just going to go up and down very, very lightly. And then on the tip, kind of just like that. Now, it's pretty much like using concealer all the way across, but for me, it just kind of, I feel like it creates a definition in that area. Just going to pat it in my nose. I feel like before, when I used to just draw out the lines first with the highlight in the middle, contour on the sides, it would just create a mess and my nose would look dirty. So doing this, highlighting it first and just kind of defining it out made a huge difference. I'm now going to go in with my MAC Studio Fix powder in the color C3 and the Sigma F35 highlighting brush. So this is just going to, again, just like you're baking and stuff, you're going to just lock it all in, secure it, make sure it's there. Anytime I've done baking directly over concealer or over anything wet, it just doesn't look good on me personally. It just tends to get very, certain areas where I put the concealer in, and it just kind of stays there. So to avoid that, I like applying that powder on first and then baking after. I'm going to bake with the Mercier Translucent powder and a little bit on my damp beauty blender. So I'm going to start right underneath of my eyes, let it bake. I'm going to bring it into my nose just like I did with the concealer. So pretty much what I did with my concealer and the placement, I'm going to go back over it again with the highlighting. I'm sorry, with the baking powder. Now with the beauty blender, I'm going to go down the middle of my nose exactly the same way that I applied the highlighting. All right, all good. So when it comes to contouring, I'm very particular on the products and brushes that I use. I will cream contour whenever I do an extreme look or if I'm going out and I want it to be a little more dramatic. But for a natural everyday contour, I like using powders. I've been using the Hoola Benefit Powder and this has been working for me. What I like about it is that it has more of a natural color in there. It's not so orangey, it's not too bronzy looking. It reminds me of the color Fawn from Anastasia. So if you guys know what that color is, it's very similar to that. And I like that this also has a very, very nice color payoff. It's not too intense, but it's not like I have to go back and dig for much color. So a little goes a long way with this product. Pretty much any bronzer that has that undertone will work really good for this area. Just stay away from anything that's too orangey or it will look a little dirty or a little more unnatural. So for the brush, I'm going to go in with the Dose of Color Large Shading Brush. I did use this brush in the last video and I did use it on my eyes. So I'm not going to use it on my contour. I love this brush. It's so good for the nose. So I'm going to pick a little bit up on my brush and I'm just going to tap off the excess amount. I don't want it to be too powdery when it directly goes on my nose. I'm going to start right on this area, right where you can see the baking. That's kind of my tip. I make sure not to bring it in too much, but I also want to make sure that I don't go too far out. The farther out you go, the wider the nose is going to look. If you go too in, it's going to look a little scary. So make sure that you just stay in between your guided area. After that, I'm just going to lightly go into the brow just a tiny bit and then start bringing it down. So as you can see, I only went down the sides and I stopped right around here. If I go any lower than that, I feel like it's just going to elongate my nose and make it look a little more flatter. And I do prefer the more pushed up kind of button nose. So I'm going to apply a little bit to the bottom of my nose. This is also good if your nose just kind of drooped down just a little bit. I do like this because it just gives it that instant push. With the tip of the brush, I'm going to go right directly in the middle of the nose. I'm just going to go back and forth. I'm going to go back in with my beauty blender that has the extra amount of translucent powder on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and chisel the sides up. Pinch it right in the middle. And push up the sides to clean up the edges, as I call it. Middle of the nose. And again, down the center. To get it a little more defined. I'm just kind of going back over everything. You just want to re-sculpt it in a way. So now there's no product on this brush. I'm going to go back in. I just kind of lightly dust it away. I feel like doing this, you're just working it in, you're making it look a little more soft. And because I just applied translucent powder before that, it is going to blend it all together and just kind of diffuse any areas that may look a little more harsh. Damn, girl. So I'm gonna go back in with the brush and a little bit of hoola on there and just add a tiny bit to the inner part right here. Just kind of blend it into the brow so that it all connects. And then from there, you can just buff your contour down, or my contour down. I just roll back over the contour again with the Beauty Blender to diffuse any areas so they can know that that contour belongs to you. I go in really quickly with the Laura Geller Gilded Honey and apply this to my nose. So I'm going to go right on the tip. This is the dual-sided Tarte brush. I don't think there's a name on it, but pretty much any brush that's a little bit fluffy, kind of condensed, but a little bit fluffy will work for this. Or you can use your finger. It applies right to the tip. And then a little bit on the bridge to kind of just make it stand out. And just lightly just go with the finger and just kind of blend it all in. Just kind of mesh it all up. And that is it, guys. That's all I do. So now that that is all complete, I'm going to set everything using the Laura Geller Spackle Mist. I just got this and I want to try it out. So, well, there you go. That completes how I do my nose contouring. I hope I made this as simple and easy as possible. So if you are trying to figure out the solution on what works for you, just make sure that you analyze your nose and see exactly what you need to do and to shape it out the way you want it to look. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!